at Astra Abasask, and welcome back everyone to another episode of Hardcore Genshin, where today we are starting things off by talking to Miss Yu, because I quickly want to check how much I could get from reputation so far. So we have done quite a bit, and I'm sure we'll level up our reputation to, well, apparently level 3 at the very least. Alright, and let's see what rewards we're getting. So we're getting condensed resin. I'm glad with that. I'm very happy because I don't want to run every single domain twice the amount of times that I need to. Yeah, especially playing in hardcore and with some characters being a little bit underleveled for certain domains, it is very nice to have the condensed. And I definitely will craft some of it because I already have 160 resin because it's a new day. And well, before we do that, let's actually also go to Mondstadt real quick, because I also want to check the reputation stuff for there. And seeing as I haven't done my reputation stuff yet this week, I'll probably claim those real quick as well and see if we get any other rewards from it. Herfa, reputation, nothing new, but I did unlock this one, which does have a name card, so I'll definitely equip that real quick. See, change name card. There we go. Learn. And we can craft quite a few. So let's craft 4. Perfect. Alright, so after claiming those rewards, I quickly wanted to check if there's anything I could do. Other than, of course, dailies, which I really should be doing. But we already started this one. I don't want to do this one yet. That's the issue. Chasm, also don't want to do that yet. But this is one that we could do. It will allow us to unlock the teapot. And it would give us a little bit of extra stuff to do between episodes that I don't exactly have to record all the time. Which, you know, is sometimes nice. Just sitting down and relaxing and not worrying about dying. Because this is not something that will kill me. Alright, so I just finished doing my daily quests, and suddenly I leveled up to AR 32. So let's claim adventure rank rewards. 32, and let's see. Okay, very nice, we get some extra primo gems. But honestly, that's not even the highlight of getting to this AR. You wanna know what it is? This is. And, well, I really hoped I would be able to do this. But unfortunately, it seems that we need to actually complete it before. Is there really no way to start this? Well, that's just a giant punch in my face. I was really hoping that we would be able to do this because we reached AR 32, but of course we do need to complete, let's see, Inazuma stuff and Mona's story quest. How unfortunate. Alright. But there is one thing that unlocked with AR 32. And that's Klee, right here. We could start her. But that would require us to go back to Mondstadt, and we already have some quests active in Mondstadt that I'm avoiding at the moment. So I'm honestly not sure what to do. So I think I'll just start the teapot one, navigate, and yes, it honestly really bumps me that I'm unable to do the Golden Apple Archipelago, because I had hoped that it would at least say that you could start it without needing those, only that you would miss out on some backstory and blah blah blah, because it has been like that a few times in the past with events. Anyway, let's talk to Madam Ping. But first, of course, we're gonna steal that. Never mind.
When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds.
I often use Paimon as a
That
pillow, in fact.
simply won't do. Especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey ahead of you.
Yeah, at least 5 more nations.
Fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace creation abilities atrophy.
Subspace creation?
I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world. Just requires a few final materials to add the finishing touch.
And what are those materials?
That's right! Finding stuff's what we're good at, after all.
I'm Yenfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for Smaragdus Jadeite. I couldn't find any at all. Found him. Crossel. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. If my memory serves, all of them had to do with rare ores. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus Jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite, or might have an idea of where we can find some.
Yeah, sure, we'll just come with you.
You want to join me? I suppose that's no problem.
Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize, I've already rented them out to a lady named Zhi Qiao. If you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Wait, isn't Smaragdus Jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Zhi Qiao before renting them to her. The
Of course,
contract
Liu
makes it
and their
quite clear
contracts
that if
again.
she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus Jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Zhi Qiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
Well, no ambiguities here.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Oh, whatever shall I do?
Excuse me, are you the person we are looking for?
Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with? The hairpins. I can't lend them to you right now. I've lost them. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. But now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Maybe because this is the part where we say, we can help.
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Yeah, they're lazy.
Hold on. Don't run
They
off
sent
looking
everything
for the
to me for
hairpins
some reason.
just yet. Miss Zhi Qiao, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed? However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the jadeite is genuine or not? Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the jadeite is genuine, would there?
Seems right.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Zhi Qiao in tow, too, I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
About that.
Yeah, about that. They're gone.
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Truly I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract.
It was in fact genuine Smaragdus Jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
Well, it sounds like Yanfei has a plan, so let's find out what it is.
Miss Yenfei, what is this about? Are you here to tell me how much I owe?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the ore inlaid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus jadeite after all.
Not really?
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch.
If it has elemental energy or something like that, why don't I just use my elemental vision? We can find them. I mean, I've used it for a book once with Lisa, so should be the same story, right?
Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell. I didn't feel anything special at all, in fact.
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossel's vicinity. If I have deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus jadeite in his possession.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to his face!
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
Very vivid description, Yanfei.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yunfei.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, could I ask you to please sign this contract?
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even keep track.
If I had one mora for every time I hear the word contract, I could have paid for everything Zhongli wanted.
It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, I require a written contract. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable hands if you will take it, Miss Yunfei.
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign on this page as well. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over here.
This contract has so many pages. Paimon's all out of brain juice again.
Such an ordeal.
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy.
Need me to do anything?
Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve, once we've got some things squared away.
Then why am I
don't
here?
believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite the experience.
I want to go
Miss
home.
Yunfei,
Just give me my
I
teapot.
have to ask, why are you helping me?
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geoenergy around Mr. Crossel, so perhaps he has, in fact, secured some. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter. But either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... where can we find someone who processes ore?
Literally behind
I've
you?
got it. Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery.
You mean the one
He's
who's behind
a
you?
professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossell had his ore
Like
worked on
the
at
one
all,
right
Chateau
over
would
there?
undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Yep, that's the guy.
Is a Snezhnine merchant named Crossell enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnayan merchant named Krossel, you say? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus Jadeite.
Claiming
That
that?
was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. They're right over there, in fact.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
Alright, let's take a look at this this fake stuff. I don't trust it. Crossel sus.
If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings.
Nephrite?
Yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore, containing no elemental energy whatsoever.
Is that so? Well, we might as well give Elemental Sight a shot.
It's what I've been
So, did you
suggesting.
find anything?
Not a single trace of elemental energy here.
So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao is able to tell what it was just by looking at the shards? That's pretty awesome.
Mr. Crossell did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact Smaragdus jadeite, did he not?
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, 1 chunk Smaragdus jadeite, uncut.
When Mr. Crossell commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material he presented to you that day was called Smaragdus jadeite?
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Mr. Crossell wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself, the item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins.
There he is. Hi, Baiju.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs.
I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus jadeite.
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 Mountain Treatises. The 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains, and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality, and their illness will only ever get worse.
Well, that just sounds like a lot of fun.
Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yanfei, and given the specific nature of your question, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus jadeite?
Ding,
That
ding,
is
ding.
indeed the case.
Bingo.
If you would be so kind, Dr. Baiju.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smaragdus jadeite recently. A Snezhnayan merchant came to ask me about it not long ago.
Well, who could that be?
But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yenfei, if your pressing business might be related to this Snezhnayan merchant?
Ah, you needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
You're too kind. Take care now.
Bye bye, Zhu.
We have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
And before we go to Mr. Crossell, I'm gonna end it here. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And goodbye.